Hey Tom, alright, so the limit switches, they're little Omrons, a little bit pricey, they're about $150 a pop. So there you can see the top Omron for Z in there, the little aluminium housing with a grub screw holding it onto the mill. The whole thing screws in, and then that over there is about 1.25 micron accurate. So this touches off against the top in there. In there you have your touch plate. So when I do home and probe, I just got to make sure those are clean. So it'll come up and home and probe. White tables Omron is there. Oh, excuse me, I'm having a couple of beers. Sorry about that bird. So white table Omron is in there, and touch off plate is there. And then the same for X. Let me zoom out. Same for X. Hang on a second. Where are we? Oops. This side. Okay. Sorry, I sell these machines too, so I need all of them. Bloody switches are in a different place. So there's the X one there, and that just touches off against that. Alright, so the probe for Z, my tool cutter probe, so that is over here. There's a little Omron built inside there. It's got a little spring underneath, and it's resting on a little plate that depresses. All of that is wired through to the controller. Actually, I'm not going to open my controller, but what I will do for you is I'll show you the Mac routine that runs it. So this, let me just pull that cutter off. My wife, actually, you know what? My wife will kick my ass if I do a home and probe now, because I think she's probably got something run. But essentially, I just get a little button in there, home and probe. I click that. It'll go up, touch off, go over, touch off, go forward, touch off. Then it'll take the cutter over. It'll touch it off on the probe over there, bring everything back, and when it drops the cutter here, the very tip of the cutter is centered exactly over Z and exactly over Y on that. Alright, so what you're wanting for that is go to kelling.com. Let's see, is this one loose? Okay, let's see if I got it loose. Because I flogged these in Oz, I've got spares all over the bloody show. So I've got a couple of completely working controllers in here and a couple of not working ones. Sometimes I know what's happening inside these boxes. Alright, so the bob is not in there. So the breakout board. Anyway, so everything comes in through here. Those wired to the breakout board. And there's your steppers. Oh, sorry, your driver board's inside there. Is this not open? Mine's not open either. Shucks. Anyway, and then the last thing I have, of course, is I have the relay switch for the spindle, which is in here. Alright, so there's my existing relay switch up the top there. Yeah, and essentially everything's automated. So we come in the morning, turn it on, hit home and probe. All the axes are zeroed out. And then you were asking earlier about how I grab it. So I'll do most of my flips in here. Alright, so I'll just grab it in there, get it more or less level. And of course, if you have enough wax, it doesn't matter whether it's 100% level or not, as long as there's more material than what your model is. And then I have the tailstock going in over there, and there's a bench vise that basically just hooks onto the table over there and there, locks down, and you can use locating pins for it. Since we're doing the mill pawn, I'll show you this. Show you that awesome piece first. God, that makes me so hot when I look at that thing. I love that thing, you know. Not as much as my wife, but close. Anyway, so that's the lathe I got from Dougie. This thing I think is older than me. Alright. I'm going to probably retrofit this to CNC at some other point. I just haven't got around to it yet. So there's been some new switches put on over here, and the motor in there. I reckon if I looked for a date on that thing, this was made in Sydney. I don't think it was fixed by somebody in Sydney. Can I find a date stamp on that? I don't know. I reckon it's pretty old. Anyway, and it gets used quite a bit. So I've got 4-jaw and 3-jaw self-centering for that. Quick change post, and then I think down the bottom over here somewhere is all the rest of the bits and bobs for this. There's the independent 4-jaw, and then of course all the different posts. And there's also an inside ring holder in there somewhere, and its tailstock and stuff. Yeah, I think, there we go. And I think that Dougie actually had this turned up. This slides in there, and you can actually hold rings on the outside. That actually tamps down over the rings. You can grab a ring by its outside edge, and you can do quite a bit of turning on it. Beautiful lathe. I only use it for wax now, but Doug used to turn up some beautiful work with it. It's almost a little bit underutilized. Maybe make me an offer. Yeah, we can have a look. Everything on it is still running beautifully. I think that there's a bit of play. Yeah, see, there's a bit of backlash. I can move it on that over there, but I reckon it wouldn't take much to retrofit that to CNC. Probably a couple of lead screws. I wouldn't put lead screws, maybe put some ball screws in there and you'd be good. Alright matey, I hope that was useful to you. Catch you later. Chris out.